While studying the past and trying to forecast how the next market cycle may look like, this one from Stedas rhymes with our calculated guess. If you remember, we used the previous post from Stedas in one of our video a couple of weeks back, which was pointing towards the $6 to around $32 XRP based on a calculation from 2018 from a third party. But now, Stedas also suggests the utility may actually dwarf this point, that is 170 to 185 in this chart he is highlighting. And here in the comment section he highlights that I could agree that the utility phase might be completely different and dwarf these price targets. So something should dwarf these means he's also not dismissing the price targets like $1,000 XRP, like $10,000 XRP, because if you have to dwarf around $200 XRP, then you should be needing something like 1,000 or 10,000, right? So when we look at the charts, based on these charts, the short-term target should be around 0.8 USD. If you look at the break here from this long-term moving pattern, you can actually get a 220% of profit from the breakout. Now, I agree majority of you guys are not here at 0.25, majority would be around 0.2 because we had a lot of time to buy at that area. And some of you guys would be lower than that, say around 0.16, 0.17, and the lucky guys would be around below 0.15, right? Now, as it is clear for us that we have a huge target to move ahead, we can actually look at the fundamentals. So based on the fundamentals, we are learning every day. This is going to be huge and this is going to get more momentum soon, as it is clear from words that new financial system is upon us and it is being built using a technology. So just play a couple of seconds from this one and we'll understand what we are talking about.
And digital technologies, which are revolutionizing financial markets, can be a game changer in reaching our shared objectives. The Task Force on Digital Financing of the Sustainable Development Goals will provide leadership to harness the digital revolution.
A digital revolution is here. It's not late to the party, but it's already with us, with the new infrastructure being built in and corporates, giants and supranational organizations jumping in. That is becoming more than possible. And along with all that comes XRP dumping from Jed, right? So when we actually talk about Macaulay dumping his XRP, that makes many question, no, it will not go up in price like these if he is actually dumping it. But keep in mind that he is selling only a percentage of the entire volume a day, right? And now, based on the Q2 report from Ripple, the company, we can understand he sells it, Ripple buys it back. So that doesn't matter. If Ripple, the company, is buying back XRP on market based on the market price, then Jed, Bed, Bud, let anyone sell. That doesn't actually matter because they are maintaining the healthy market. They are not manipulating the market. Instead, those who are trying to push the price down or to manipulate XRP price, they are taking them out, letting others, the utility or investors, think and act accordingly. They are not allowing others to manipulate in a huge way. So that's actually a good market condition to be trading in. And considering that one, this is cool because if that guy is going to sell, it's okay. He's going to sell it monthly once, based on his daily volume, right? So that's actually not a big deal if we actually see this. And based on the chart being highlighted by Stedas here, if we look at the total market cap previously and here, that is actually cool. It looks really like we are rhyming ourselves, and if we are rhyming, then this should be target by the end of 2021. We talked about 2021 November, right? So if you guys are spot on, this is going to be huge. Welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you see value in the content I'm providing here, do support the channel, hit that like button. And I would like to convey special thanks to the entire SI family members as we hit 8,000 subscribers mark. And that's kind of a huge achievement for a new channel like this. And thank you for the support. And for a few Scientific Investor family members who supported me via PayPal, that really means a lot for me, because you guys are supporting with the openness of your heart to do this kind of a support. I'm really thankful for you guys. Now back to our topic. This one is actually from Binance Research. Put this one like that came out last month, and heavy investors who are using Binance itself would be actually watching these articles closely. And this one from Binance Research about XRP is bullish. They talk about different parameters, different factors of XRP, the asset, and they give the basic education, how it is, what it is, how it can be used. We actually know everything like this. And if you are a newbie here, you can actually go through this, just post it here and read, or I'll be putting the link in the description. You can actually go through or read it. That would be giving you much more insight. Now they actually give you all the different information which you need, and then the utility phase here, and that one, speed. Now if you remember, there was a guy who was like talking, XRP is so fast so it can't rise in price. What kind of a human being, huh? Anyway, so then scalability, which is required. Now this is the online scalability of 1500 transactions per second, and based on last year's update, if you go visit Ripple's website, you can see it's 65,000 transactions per second, offline, online included. Then everything being talked about is eco-friendly, green, sustainable, blah blah blah, and transparent based on the regulations it should be. So this is an asset which is gonna give you the future. If you believe it and stay with it for long enough, you would be profiting massively from that one. Now this is another analyst showing another target for short term, which is 0.4 based on a bull flag here, right? But if we are getting overhead resistance as we see here around 0.3, we can see that the price is kind of getting slowed down there, but on a daily it's not completely slowed down, or it's not kind of going down. It is making a flag there on a daily. If you zoom in and look at on that 12-hour chart, yes, we are kind of making a double top. If you look that on a 4-hour chart, you will understand it's kind of, you can actually see reverse Adam and Eve or a double top here. But keep in mind that the price is being supported by the 20 and 50-day moving average on the 4-hour, and if we move on to the 12-hour chart, we can see there is room for the pullback up to 0.26 area or 0.27, where the moving average, 20-day moving average, would be meeting the price there, right? So when we look at the fundamentals along with this, fundamentals are actually increasing day by day. The information and the viewpoints coming out based on the real implementation of this asset class and the technology, this is going to be huge. This one from Wrath of Kanman actually shows us how huge it's going to be. Think of how many ATMs we have, how many of you guys use ATMs. And now, see, if you look at traditional markets, Japan, South Korea, majority of us use ATM not only for taking out fiat, but here the you can just go there, transfer your money to anyone. Say for example, I'm a student here on a student visa, right? If I go to my bank account and try to transfer, I have a daily limit of the $1,500 $2,000. So if I actually want to transfer more, I can actually go visit the bank's ATM and then use that to convey that money. So that's kind of another use case where even those transactions would be having to be settled from one ledger to another as we move into a digital era, right? So they need a bridge asset to do that settlement. Now that being said, the case for Japan is a kind of bit different. Even the domestic transaction there is slow, or was slow, and that's the reason why Ripple, the company, was kind of high on Japan and went in. Now they kind of invaded through those bank, and now they provide this system, right? The technology just changed everything there. And now when we actually see all of these type of fundamentals and the price breaking above the long-term resistance and moving to the upside, that's kind of really bullish news, right? And at the same time, we can actually see people around the world are looking at this asset. This is a new news and showing XRP Google searches reach yearly high in the US. So that's just in US market, right? If the Google trends, you can see one of the biggest market for XRP will be the US. And when we look at it, if you go to Fiat League and check, where the money is flowing in, can actually understand the majority it's in US dollars and they show it from United States. So that's kind of a cool thing when you can see. And as the market is changing and the trend itself is changing, more and more investors would be coming in. And considering the overall economy, what we are looking at is like this: bankruptcies are not showing any signs of slowing down. So one by one the economies are actually going down, they are getting obliterated by this crisis. And on the other side you can see a thriving side of the economy, which is a new era, new technology of modernizing the financial world. So the state-run bank in Switzerland is launching its crypto service. So at one side, the traditional market is kind of going down, majority of small business owners are being obliterated, but on the other side, those who are wise enough to understand to move on to a technology where you are early, they are moving in because they know that in long run they're going to be profiting from this a lot. As they state here, in the BKB group, we are working to offer our clients a solution for the trading and deposit of selected cryptocurrencies. So trading and deposit, so they are going to profit it from this. Then the spread will be always there. They are kind of going to take the profit from this as they see there is a market for this. That is the only reason they are entering into this one, right? So now you have to understand this is not a scam. Crypto is not a scam. It's gonna be here for a long time, or it may be the only value exchange mechanism in the future. And as we saw previously, this is rolling out in India, right? This is a country with 1.3 billion population, and majority of them have mobile phone and internet connection, and majority of those guys have WhatsApp. Now if WhatsApp is coming out like something like this, that's gonna be actually changing many aspects. Say for example, they will actually start using their money like this. Currently they have Paytm, they use Paytm to transfer money, or a Rupee card and other stuff. So automatically when they have these kind of things and people go digital, they will have next generation value exchange. Automatically Ripple can provide what they need for the remittance market, especially if they are moving into WhatsApp Pay and all, and they can do the transfer immediately for even domestic or let it be other transaction. Automatically banks, financial institutions who provide these would have to provide these customers instant services, otherwise they won't be happy, right? Now this is from Starling Bank, showing the future of payments, a changing landscape. This is actually a good read. I'll put the link in the description, and you guys should read this. It actually gives you a perspective of how things are changing. It gives you example from one area to another. Say for example, they look at transport, right? How it can be changed, going digital, and how it will be affecting supermarkets, stores, all these POS mechanism, and how these fintechs are coming in and changing the landscape. So looking at the future, it's fully digital. You believe it or not, they're actually looking at 2023 to about 6.2 million. So currently it's 5 million and 1.2 million added by 2023 in one country. So that's the pace on which we are going digital. Now considering the volume being highlighted here, which is kind of something similar, and then looking at the patterns which the price is creating, we have a lot of things in common. And we are breaking out about this one. So if we actually go into these charts, say this is a 3-day chart, in order to rhyme with that one, we can just go with a weekly chart here. The pattern he showed was on a daily chart, but we are using a weekly chart here. So in this weekly chart, currently we are being resisted by the 200-day moving average, but at the same time on these days the momentum is reducing a bit, but the RSI is just about to enter into the overbought territory on a weekly chart. If that's entering there, look here, when we entered above those moving averages, the RSI was not reaching the overbought area or going into that zone, but now it is. So if there is no earthquake and nothing is changing drastically, with the same momentum, with the same pattern, we would be seeing a bounce from here, and that bounce would take us directly to 0.75, 0.8 target, because that's not a small target considering where we are. That's like 200% in profit for those guys who are entering here. And remember, majority of us would be having our average way below say 0.2 or at least around 0.2. So from that one, I'm not saying you guys should be taking out your profit entirely from the next pump, but keep this in mind. If the price is exploding and reaching 0.8 instantly, that's 200% profit. It may, kind of take 1 week to 3 days to reach there and automatically correct back 30-40% and then move to the upside. Why I say this, if you look at the previous history, you can see it just blasted through, it corrected, and then it went above, then again it corrected, it went above. Now it's being in a correction from a long time. That's the market cycle, right? But if you look at the short-term market cycle, you can actually see the same. Say, for example, there's nothing related to this one. I'll just zoom in and say, if you have a market cycle like this, which is the long-term market cycle, you would be also having small-term market cycle, which kind of fluctuates within that one. So if you look at the momentum, for example, if I am considered, for me, we are somewhere here in the long-term market cycle changing to the upside. And within that upside, while we move upside, we also have small time market cycles which fluctuate like this, which go to the upside, come back down, go to the upside. If you guys want to understand this better, you can read the book from Howard Marks, about the market cycle. So that gives you a lot of insights, which will provide you the edge if you are looking to trade this market. And if you are an investor, that give you a sword to fight on. One of the SA family member asked me to do Vechain and a link. So I would be actually looking at those which will actually provide you guys what I think about these assets. Now, if you look at the chart here for Vechain on a weekly, it is actually reaching the previous high here, which is acting as a resistance now. You can consider this as a bullish sign and a mixed approach, because currently on a weekly, the MACD is so high, it's already kind of, it needs a breather. But if you look at the RSI, it came down, it took a breather, and it's moving to the upside. So you can consider this as a flag. If this moves upside and break above 0.0215 and go higher, that should be a sign that it's going to blast through the roof. Now that's on a weekly. If you actually move on to a 3-day or a daily chart, you can correctly see that the price is staying above the moving averages. All the moving averages, 20, 50 and 200, is moving to the upside. MACD is kind of showing you that it may bounce off from this point. Along with the RSI showing the same, you may actually get a breakout to the upside from this bull flag. Now, if we look at chain link, it's kind of surprising that majority of the crypto assets were actually going down last couple of years, and this particular asset was going to the upside. And if you measure that from the bottom, how much it went to the upside, it's around 7,000% it went to the upside. So that's not a small thing. And if you consider buying low and selling high, making profit, then for me, this is not the asset which I should be looking at as of now, because I'm not in for the asset which already reached 7,000%, more than 7,000% in this market cycle. Because if I look on a 3-day chart, the MACD is so high. The room to the upside may be limited. I'm not sure. That's just based on the technical analysis. And then if you look at the daily also, you can see that there is a bit more room on a daily to move upside, showing the MACD and RSI. Now, for the giant perspective, when you look at the weekly, as you can see here, it's having that issue at the top. It's being as similar to that of 3-day chart. In a weekly also, the MACD is too high. It should be taking a breather, and it may actually come back down to 4.5, 4.6 area. Now that's just on the technical perspective. Now if you consider the time and the movement of moving averages, then the target may be around $5.6 to $6. And as we generally speak about the altcoin market cap, we should be understanding that the altcoin market cap is in a pattern which we discussed previously, which is showing you the breakout, and it is going to the upside. And if you remember this, I actually plotted this previously when we were breaking above, right? And I told you guys we are going to reach how much higher. We were around 40% previously, and we have 200% left to the upside, and that kind of takes us a lot upside. And we went through that a couple of weeks back, at least last week, and after that we actually saw a pump in the majority of the altcoins. Especially if you look at XRP in the last week, we got around 30-40% pump. In the last month, last 30 days, XRP went up like 50%. So that's not a bad deal. But yes, there are assets which moved even higher. Like if you compare Ethereum, last 30 day, last year, that actually did even better, right? Considering from the bottom of 94 and where it is now around 400, it did pretty much way better than XRP in a shorter time frame. But keep in mind, almost all the time, if you compare the available price fluctuation history of the price fluctuation of crypto assets, particularly for XRP and Ether, can understand XRP is late for the party, always late for the party. But when it reaches here for the party, that really will be a party, and now it looks like it already have reached that party phase. It's just putting its Lambo or a Ferrari for the valet parking, and it's gonna enter into it. So as we see a break of this 200-day moving average, keep in mind, positive side, we break through the 200-day moving average, and that would be pushing up the volume so much we may reach 0.5 first and then 0.75, 0.8. That should be the target. And on the negative side, if this is being rejected, then first thing is the long-term resistance which we just broke, so back to 0.25. And if we come below that, the moving averages should be acting as a support, and even in the worst case, we would be coming back to this support line, which would be around 0.1. Now that's kind of having only, it's like 10% chance when we look at the current market fluctuation, MACD, RSI, and all those indicators. It points to the downside. 90% chances are we are going to go to the upside, and when we go to the upside, these kind of targets are not silly. This kind of, if the utility is kicking in, as the states here, I kind of agree with him. We may actually see much higher price than this. Just the question is, will we be able to hold on till that time? Say $100 XRP, how your portfolio will be looking. You can comment that in the bottom. Say $150 XRP, how your portfolio will be looking. Will you be tempted? It's not a question. You will be tempted. I will be tempted to take it out. But if you have a exit strategy, a plan on which you will take, say, this price, when XRP hits $50, I would be taking this much from my portfolio. When XRP hits $100, $150, $200, that would actually keep you on like an escrow in which the terms and conditions are met. Now I'm going to take a bit of profit. So that's going to be cool. Thank you guys for tuning in, and that's for the day. If you saw value from the content, please do support the channel. Hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, please. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.